I have not yet talked on the podcast about the horrific incident in Washington, D.C., involving two young people, a young man, Yaron Lashinsky, a young woman, Sarah Milgram, and they were just gunned down, assassinated on the street. Talk a little bit about who these people were and who was the perpetrator.
Well, it's just an unspeakably horrible story. On the one hand, on the other hand, Dinesh, what did we think was going to happen? I mean, what did the people chanting for the past year and a half about globalize the Intifada? From the river to the sea, Palestine shall be free. Intifada revolution, there is only one solution. I mean, this Nazi-esque Hitlerian genocidal language. I mean, at some point, someone was going to actually pick up a gun and start killing people. In fact, these two young people killed in the prime of their lives. By the way, Dinesh, it's even more personally tragic. Yaron had just purchased an engagement ring for his girlfriend, Sarah. He was going to propose to her this week in Jerusalem, in the Holy City. So, I mean, just awful stuff. But look, I mean, only one person pulled the trigger. That's obviously true. But it has to be said, Dinesh, that this happened in a certain context. This happened in a certain milieu where Israelis, Jews, Christian Zionists, anyone who is pro-Jewish, pro-Israel, or a friend of the Jews, or friend of Israel, everyone has been otherized and dehumanized there. It has become common to the point of ubiquity. It's become politically acceptable to tar and feather Jews, to tar and feather supporters of the world's only Jewish state. And at some point, some radical pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas, anarchist, Marxist freak, which is what the assassin Elias Rodriguez was. He was an anarchist Marxist who was involved with far-left Chinese Communist Party funded. All the circles, Dinesh, that you would think that he would be involved in, this guy was involved in them there. This couple that was gunned down, I was actually in Washington, D.C., not the day of the murder, but the 2 days prior to the murder, because I was doing events for the book that you so kindly mentioned there. In fact, Dinesh, 2 days prior to this murder, I was giving a keynote speech at the Middle East Forum Policy Conference in Washington, D.C. It's a think tank. Apparently, Yaron was actually there in the audience listening to my speech. I didn't have a chance to meet him there, but he was listening to me speak not less than 48 hours before he was gunned down. So it is slightly personal for me. It should be personal for anyone and everyone, though, because I've had enough. I have had enough of the incitement, enough of people just mainstreaming and normalizing this active incitement against Jews, against friends of the Jewish state. It's disgusting, and it has to stop. It seriously, seriously has to stop, Dinesh.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.